So today I'm sitting with an incredible woman, Janice. She started a new chapter of her life at 59, where she decided to travel and live on her own terms. She's now in her 79th year, and she's going to share her story and share her wisdom and courage and perspective on living abroad and living on her own terms. So if you're at a crossroads, a midlife crossroads now, and wondering, is it too late? Is it too risky? Or like, am I just being selfish? Then this is the conversation you need to listen to remind you that it's not, and you can choose to live on your own terms. So Janice, if we go all the way back to when you were 59, what was your life like then, and how did you feel back in that time?
Oh dear, I was very sad and depressed. I was going through a divorce and I had health and financial problems. So not in a good state.
No, that sounds like it was a very hard time of your life then.
Yeah.
It was not like...
At that time, yes.
So we're very curious to know, what was the moment, so when you're going through that, what's the moment that you realized that you wanted something different and you didn't want to stay in this
I listened to
situation?
two friends with their photos and they inspired me to make my first trip to Asia. 3 weeks. Oh no, 5 weeks.
5 weeks, yeah.
5 weeks. And I just was so happy, so I loved it.
Yeah,
Really loved it. And so that was the start.
so it like opened your eyes that there's
everything.
another world out there, there's another maybe way to live,
Yeah.
and you didn't just stay and kind of, feel sad and feel sorry for yourself. You decided,
No.
you know what, I'm going to do something about
Because
this.
I had friends who just sat and felt sorry for themselves. So I saw that, and I didn't want that.
So obviously it took courage though,
Yes.
to say, you know what,
Yeah.
I'm not going to live this life, I'm going to do something, see if I can do something to make a
Yes.
change.
So you have to be a self-therapist,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. So like that was your turning point, and then so what made you decide then to travel and like live independently, like live in Asia, or travel around?
Well, just because I loved it so much, those 5 weeks. So the next time became 60, and like that was just 3 months of heaven.
Yeah, I said it.
You know, that's it. That was the turning point.
Yeah, and obviously while you were in Asia, or while you're doing this, you made a lot of friends.
Oh yeah. So you make friends, you have fun, and you join like small communities.
Yeah. What were you most afraid of? Like to go off on your
Well,
own.
I think anybody traveling at any time, anywhere, the first fear is to do with your passport, your money
Yeah.
being taken away from you. But in fact, what happened in Asia, I felt very safe, and in Europe, when I got back to Europe, I didn't feel safe.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Yeah, people would probably not expect that. A lot of people are scared.
Yes, it was the opposite.
What was the first step you took to be able to get to this point where did you just make a certain decision and just go off into the sunset, or
No.
what did you do to feel confident about doing
You
this?
have to sort out your finances first.
Yes.
That's the first step.
Yeah.
You can't do anything without some money.
Yes.
And I didn't have very much. I had a very small pension, and I started to think about how to rent maybe a room in my house and So slowly I built up enough finances to go on my next trip.
Very interesting. So yeah, because a lot of people think you have to be very rich to do this, but the more people I've spoken to, including Janice, you know, if you really want to do something, you can find a way. And in fact, most of us realise when we come to Asia that it's so much cheaper. And
I
we got more
saved
detail.
enough money not paying for a heating bill to buy my ticket.
Of course, because you were living in
You know, like
in a cold country at the
here
time.
in Asia, it's warm, and like in France where I was living, freezing in the winter,
Yeah, exactly.
and you have to pay a lot of money for these heating bills.
Yeah.
So it was that bought my ticket.
Yeah. A lot of people like when you started your
Yeah,
journey at
yeah,
59, health is a big worry, and people worry about traveling at this age, and into the future. So how did you do that? How did you deal with your, like, a lot of people fear that like at 59 they're too old
Yes.
to do it, and also fear about, you know, what about my health and how can I look after myself? So how did you deal with that one?
Because it's small steps, isn't it? I didn't do it like suddenly. It takes time to gain confidence and to gain courage to keep going, and like you have to work out your finances, but also your health. So if you've got health issues, sometimes, like in Asia, it's better. The medical alternative ways are better than the system in Europe.
All right, that's very interesting. I know I heard a lot of people worry about this. Not only yourself, I've met other people that are like your age and you know, from like in retirement sort of ages, and they said they're so impressed with the healthcare in Asia, and I've experienced it too. So again, do your research. You might be very surprised that, you know, even these worries, whatever country you want to go to, it might be Asia, but check out your options, and you'll often be surprised that the medical care and the medical standard can be even higher sometimes than some countries we've been living in. So that's really
Like dentistry, so cheap, and
good quality, right?
yes,
as well,
very,
quality
very
care.
good, very good.
Yeah.
And all the medical care, like if you've got ear problems, etc. Really,
So
really
there's like
good.
a lot of research, a bit of research, and especially if you already go out to that country first to test it, like Janice said, and then you can talk to other expats that are there, and they will like maybe fast track your understanding of what services are there, what they cost, and how good they are. And again, it's step by step. You work out the practicalities of any decision. We're now at the moment focused on travel and living abroad, but there's other things you might want to do. And again, it's just talking to like-minded people and say, how is it? What's it like? And test the waters for yourself as well. This is so helpful on a practical side as well as inspiring. There's a lot of practical things that we're dealing with here, which is really helpful, Janice. I appreciate it so much.
To keep fit in all this travelling, you can't. So if you have a health problem, you've got to face it straight away and keep fit.
Look after yourself, eat healthy, and in
Yeah.
Asia that's much easier, like
And
fresh vegetables
food here, so healthy.
Yeah, that's what I've noticed too.
Yeah.
So that's a big plus as well. Like
It's
definitely
not,
for
not
Asia.
like in Europe,
Yeah,
that everything is fresh, cut, and you can see the people making your food.
yeah. So, we're getting near the end now to the interview, but I want to ask Janice, what advice would you give to anybody in midlife who's coming to that crossroads? They wanted to do something different, but they're kind of scared or whatever. What advice would you give to anybody watching and thinking about doing something different?
My first advice is that you have to face yourself and ask, am I happy here in my state here? And if the answer is no, then you have to change, basically. And change is difficult for everybody.
Yeah, definitely.
But so we go back to small steps. Like me going first time only 5 weeks,
Yeah, exactly.
right? And so then the finances you've got to look after. You don't have to have too much. You have to be realistic about it. You have to do research on your finances and also try to get your cheaper tickets.
Yeah, you can
So
learn
I get cheaper tickets now, more cheaper than 20 years ago.
Yeah, you get cluey and you learn where to look and where to go.
Yes.
That's so helpful. And my last question today is: so after living 20 years, this life on your own terms, when you wake up in the morning, what's on your mind? What are you thinking about?
Oh, it's definitely the next plan for my next trip.
Well, think about that. It's nearly 79. Her biggest thing she's worried about or thinking about is, where am I going next? What a life. Thanks so much, Janice. We appreciate so much. I appreciate so much you sharing your story. It's very inspiring and your experience. So if anybody's watching and you're in midlife and you're wondering whether you should take the leap or whether you should make a change, I hope this conversation reminds you it's never too late to choose the life that you want to live and live your best life. So thanks for watching and see you in the next one.